Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? You are enjoying the contrast of your time and space?
Yes!
It's interesting, isn't it, that from contrast comes clarity, comes focused desire, and that's really worth something, isn't it? In fact, it's worth everything. It's why you came forth into this physical time-space reality. You said, I'll go forth, and I'll mix it up, and I'll know what I do want, and I'll know what I don't want, and I'll know what I do want, and I'll know what I don't want. But the whole intention of this joyous expression into this physical experience is the focusing of your desire, because we are all eternal beings, yes? And so, as life gives you opportunity to come to new awarenesses and new conclusions of what you desire, that is a wonderful thing under any and all conditions. Now we know that in the idea of deliberate creating and in the idea of living the life that you want to live, that it seems that you're wanting to pick from your buffet things that you want. In other words, I'll take some of that, and I'll take some of that, and I'll take some of that. And I'll put all of that in my basket, and I'll go off and live happily ever after. And we think that's a very good plan. That's what you intend to do. In other words, take some of that, and take some of that, and take some of that. But it's also interesting that in this process of selecting, that there are plenty of things that you say, but I will not take any of that, and I will not take any of that, and I will not take any of that, and I really, 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 really don't want any of that. And without realizing it, in that deciphering process, while you're saying yes to the things that you do want in your basket and on your plate and in your life, and they are coming because they're active in your vibration, because you're saying yes, 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 yes. The things that you are saying, no thank you, no thank you, none of that, no really, none of that, no really, really, really none of that. You're saying yes to those too without realizing it. And so that's all right. That's one of the things that we most want to emphasize with you, deliberate creators out here on this leading edge, is that when you are aware of what you do want or aware of what you don't want, it's all part of the process of synthesizing who you are and of launching these rockets of desire, creating this vibrational version of who you really are and what you really want. We've been talking to you for a while, and most of you here are aware of this vortex that we've been talking about, how when you know what you don't want and you know what you do want and you launch these rockets and they go into this vortex. So there's this vortex version of you that is moving along. It is really the true you. It is the evolved state of who you are. It's who your inner being is. But we want you to feel with us the closeness of this vortex version of you. Esther has been saying to us in the last few weeks especially that it is interesting to her that the vortex has been a conceptual thing. It's been something that she could wrap her thoughts around. It's something that she often could feel her way into, but it wasn't the palpable connection to her a few weeks ago that it is today. In other words, she is beginning to recognize, and many of you are too, the close proximity between you and you. We've been teasing about how interesting it is for many of you to try to explain what goes on in a forum like this to friends who aren't here. As you say, there's this man who calls his wife Abraham. That in and of itself is a very strange thing. And she must be a sort of split personality because she refers to herself in the plural sense. And she insists as she points at the floor and draws a big circle that that's a vortex and that you want to get into it as best you can and that who you really are is there. In our wanting you to get a true sense of how you, the non-physical you, merges with you, the physical you, and then how you, the physical you, merge with the non-physical you in this blending process that we've been talking with you about for years. We want you to feel the fullness of this connection. We want you to feel the absolute close proximity between this vortex, which for many of you is just an idea that is not yet tangible. We want this vortex, which is conceptual. We understand. We're pointing at it and insisting that it is there and that it is the vibrational version of you. But we want you to begin to realize that all day, every day, that the reason that you sift through life experience is for the purpose of creating this vibrational version of you, which is the eternal version of you, which is the forever version of you, which is the truest version of you. But we want you to feel you're in this moment vibrational relationship with that vortex. Because for many, even for Esther, not so long ago, the vortex was something that was still something that she was reaching for. It was an idea or a goal where what you're wanting to understand is that it is the reality that is blendable now. Now, those just sound like words to you. As we're moving forward, you'll hear much more about that. The next thing that we are really wanting you to hear, and we believe that you will hear it clearly from us here today, is that everything that comes to you in terms of manifestation. Now, what's a manifestation? Is it a car? Sure. Is it the house you live in or the house that's on its way to you? Yes, manifestations. Is it your empire? Is it your life's work? Is it the book you're writing? Is it the people who surround you? Yes, 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 yes. Manifestation is all of that. But we want you to begin to feel that what manifestation is, when we use the word manifestation, we're talking about what's happening to you now. In other words, this is a manifestation right now. You're having a manifestation. You're sitting in this chair. You're manifested, the people that are sitting around you and those that are somehow sitting next to you, the conversations that you had coming in, everything that you are living moment by moment is a manifestation. The conversation that you're having in that happenstance meeting on the elevator is a manifestation. And we want you to begin to notice how really, 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 oh, we love saying this to you, really, really, really close your manifestations are, and the relationship that the manifestations that are happening now have to you and your conscious relationship with your vortex. In other words, if something's happening and you're unsettled about it, maybe you're just grouchy about it and have every good reason to be. Maybe someone has mistreated you, or maybe something has gone wrong. Maybe somebody at work was supposed to do something and didn't, or maybe some driver in traffic behaved irrationally or, by your perspective, inappropriately. So as you observe it, you're having a moment in relationship to what's going on. But more important, you're having a moment in relationship to who you really are and what's in your vortex. In other words, whatever's happening is setting up your relationship with your vortex. You get what the vortex is? Have you been hearing about it enough, or do you want us to warm you up about it? So you were source energy before you came into this physical body. Part of you came here into this physical body, but the larger part of you remains non-physical. In your vortex, the larger part of you is pure positive energy. Pure positive energy meaning no resistance in it whatsoever. No grouchiness, no orneriness, no fear, no trepidation, just pure positive energy of knowing who you are. So here you come into this physical body and you mix it up and you know what you don't want and you know what you do want. And you continue to send these rockets of desire, these rockets of expansion to this non-physical part of you who keeps up with each and every rocket. So the longer you live in your physical body, the more beautiful this vortex version of you becomes. The more refined, the more clear, the more expanded, the more exhilarated, the more expansive is the word that we love the most about it, the more joyful. In other words, through what you are living, you are causing expansion of this non-physical part of you. A non-physical part of you that you want to keep up with, but you can't keep completely up with, not like the inner being within you does, But it's your goal to keep up with that version of you, because this is the true version of you. This is the expanded version of you. This is the part of you that's weller than you were before you got sick, and more prosperous than you were before you didn't have enough money, and more secure before you became insecure. In other words, this is the expanded version of that which you are. So this vortex version, this vortex part of you, you can never get away from it. You can never separate yourself from it. And really, we want to say to you, you can never be unaware of it, because it pulses as the strongest vibration of that which is you. It is the strongest vibrational core of that which is you. So it's pulsing all the time, or vibrating all the time, or being all the time, offering its realness, its wholeness to you all the time. And here you are, still doing your job, mixing it up, knowing what you don't want, exploring the details of life, and living the manifestations that represent the relationship between all that life has caused you to ask for and where you are vibrationally in the moment. So, for example, let's say that you've been having one of those moments that we were describing, where you're feeling irritation or orneriness or resentment, whatever it is, and in the process, expanding the vortex. And let's say that you're having a conversation with someone. It evolved from your awareness of it to your venting about it. You want to explain it to someone else. You might send out an email blast. But you're having the feeling, and you'd like to share some of your pain with someone else. So now you're venting it. And so now that you're talking about it, it's even more active in your experience than it was before. Now, what's most interesting, and this is what we really want you to begin watching for, moment by moment, from this moment in your life forward. So now that whatever it is has you activated about it, now watch the manifestations that are right on the heels of it. Watch how the next person that you talk to gives you, no matter who they are and no matter where they are on the emotional scale, as they come into your experience, they are going to reflect back to you in manifestation right here and now, something that represents what you're feeling. A manifestation. This is the thing that we think is so interesting. A manifestation. So they represent back to you. In other words, you could get them talking pretty good on what's bothering you. They're all queued up for it. And you're sucking it from them. Now, let's say you don't want that from them. What you want is reassurance. What you want is positive feedback. You don't want negative commentary on where you are. You would prefer something far different from that. But you can't get it, because your point of attraction is already been established by the conversation that you've set into motion. So maybe you've been understanding manifestation in a clearer way than we are depicting here. But we want to point out to you that your manifestations, while they are about your cars and houses and relationships, and they are about the big things, and they are about the things that are on your asset side of your profit and loss statement, and they are about all of that. What the manifestations are that we're really talking about is, what are you right now evoking from that one and that one and that one and that one and that one? What are you manifesting in traffic? Cooperation or irritation? What are you manifesting at the front desk of a hotel? Cooperation, sweet smile, irritation. What are you manifesting? What are you manifesting? What are you manifesting? And the thing that we want you to hear is that what is does not mean diddly squat, in the sense that it doesn't matter if a hotel is disorganized. It doesn't matter if there's a condition in your physical body that you don't want. What is irrelevant. It is irrelevant. It is irrelevant. Because what is only the snapshot of your practiced vibration, and what is relevant is your relationship with your vortex right now.